Jebale, Jumbo, Yebo, how are you? I hope that you are doing very well. So, Akwaba, welcome to this presentation. I am Dr. Marcelin Dabo, an African from Senegal, PhD on control systems. If you want to see my PhD thesis, you can go through this link. I am an engineer, consultant in industry, and also an independent researcher. If you want to contact me, please go through this email and then I will be able to respond if I get your email. So anyway, thank you. Thank you very much and welcome again to this presentation. So if this is your first video, be aware that I have been presenting some videos for a given maybe 2 or 3 months for the moment in my channel, talking about dynamical systems, first order dynamical systems, second order dynamical systems in terms of linear systems. And also ordinary differential equations. So I have been talking about these systems in terms only for a temporal approach, meaning that I will not be using frequential analysis, like for example for transfer function. I will just analyze systems according to time variation. And I have chosen also to work only on stable dynamical systems, meaning that with a time constant that is positive. For first order systems, I have presented some interesting results, scientific innovation that I have done, like for example, a new criteria to make identification of dynamical systems based on the specific ratio that has been defined, that I have defined. So you will be able to check it out through the listed videos that I have shared in my YouTube channel. For second order systems, I have introduced an important scientific innovation is that in reality, any given dynamical system of second order has only one and single time constant. That is the inverse of the product of its damping ratio multiplied by its natural pulsation. So this is a definition and a scientific innovation that I have introduced. And of course, these have many impacts, very positive impacts in the way of solving second order dynamical systems. And moreover, it allows me to derive some specific formulas to compute the time responses and the rise times is also for any given dynamical system of second order. So now if you are ready, today I choose to present you particularly some specific concepts that I have introduced for this new vision for dynamical systems. So if you are ready, we can go further. I hope so. So here you can see that this is a dynamical system of second order that we have here. But what I will be talking about right now is dynamical systems of order n. Okay. If you consider a dynamical system like this one given here, and then you suppose that all this system is multiplied at the beginning by a0, so you have this will simplified, and then you will only have an minus 1 up to a1, and even up to a0 that will be multiplying this term here, that is a s. Okay, so remind that s of t is output, and all the terms that are here are the successive derivatives of this output dynamicals, of this output of our dynamical system. Here is the input, as you can see here, and this input E is it can be a step response, can be a step, can be a ramp, can be a parabola as an input. Okay, so now if you divide by a0, supposing that the a0 is different from 0, what you will be having is the expression that you have right now. It is the an divided by a0 multiplied by this expression and all the following expressions that you have here, as you can read them. Okay, and therefore, this is what we call the static gain, because when there is no more variation in our dynamical system, all these terms will vanish and we will keep only this expression. Okay, this is why for this gain, for this expression, this coefficient beta divided by A0, we talk about the static gain because there is no more dynamic here. Okay, so from this expression, what are we going to do? We are going to uh, I am going to introduce different definitions that I have given. So it is written in French because, as I have presented, the English version of my book is not yet ready. Okay, so uh, it is ongoing, the work is ongoing, but this I will translate. Okay, so what you have here is a linaic, what I call linaic temporal step. Okay, and then I define it like this expression. Okay, why? This is what we are going to see now. So if you consider this dynamical system equation written as this expression here, okay, and then if you think in terms of units, which unit will you be having here? If you consider that the S of t unit is U1, okay, so, and then this expression, okay, its unit is U2, right? For example, the input here, the unit is U2. And then to make the conservation of units here, it is necessary to have this static gain, to have a unit for this static gain as equal to U1 divided by U2. And then you will have the simplification of these two expressions such that you can conserve this one and get it equal to this one. This is for the first term only. If we go for the next terms, what we will be having, for the nth derivative, you will have this expression a1 over a0, this coefficient, is of unit s to the power n. Okay, why it will be that? Because to have something coherent in terms of units, to be able to add the same units here, you will have the U1 here, and then this unit also, that is U1. Okay? And as it is a derivative, you have the derivative to the order n, you are obliged to divide here by a second to the power n. Okay? And then multiplying this one to this one, there will be a simplification, right? And then you can conserve U1 and U1 here. So if you add them, you will have U1, and this will be equal to this U1 that you have here. Okay? So this is the same way of doing things for any other derivatives in between, right? Here. So now let's go for uh, the other expressions. This is what I call, as I told you, the linaic temporal step here, because it will multiply only a linear expression of time. And this is the surfacic, okay? It will be related to surface, this expression, because it multiplies a square of time. Okay, this is why I call it a surfacic temporal step, or time constant of the square of time, for example, or constant of the temporal surface. And its expression is given as a2 over a0. Its unit is second square, because if you have second square, as explained for the second to the power n, they will simplify themselves, and then you will have the unit that is given here, right? And then so for the next, for example, if I had here the cubic expression of the derivative, the third derivative of s according to time, I will have here a3 divided by a0, and just go to the next page to see how we call it. Of course, if you guess a little bit, you will see that I call it the volumic temporal step. Okay, and this volumic temporal step is expressed as you have here, and the unit is s cubed. Why? Because we multiply this expression by this term at the denominator of this ratio, okay, such that we always can keep the same unit at the numerator in order to be able to add the units in the correct way together. If you consider this expression, okay, here A1 over A0, I call them the hypersurfacic temporal step of order n, okay. I could talk about volumic temporal step, but I call it hypersurfacic temporal step of order n, and it will multiply an expression such that the result is given here, and the unit is s to the power n, as you can see here, right? The an divided by a0, its unit sn will multiply a unit here that is the same as explained previously, and then this is the constant, uh, time constant of order n. I can call it time constant of order n also. I can call it constant of the temporal hypersurface of order n also. These are expressions that I have introduced on control systems, okay? And then now let's go for second order dynamical systems to show you the corresponding expressions. So if you consider our dynamical system of second order dividing by A0, you have the same things. Here is the static gain, so now I guess you know. Here is the natural time constant. This is what is written here, okay, in French. And then the natural time constant that you have here is given as this one for the definition. For the next one, I talk about the surfacic temporal step, or the constant of the square of time that is given here in the expression A2 over A0 defined here, okay? And then now I define a third time constant that is a relative time constant, which is the ratio between the time constant of surfacic time constant, divided by the natural time constant, and then this is equal to A2 over A1, okay? If you double this expression, you will have the only and unique time constant of our dynamical system, okay? And then this expression written here, we can write it as the expression written here. As you can see, where you have the static gain here, where you have here the natural time constant, and then where you have the time constant of the constant of surface time. Okay. So the constant of the square of time, that is t and this tau. So from here, we are going to write in another way also to see, we are going to see it in the next slide. So if we move to the next slide, this is what we have. Okay. Change the color. So for the next slide, we have this expression, the derivative, second derivative of the output plus 2xc omega n multiplied by the first derivatives of the output plus omega n squared times s equal b times e of t. Recall that b is equal to k, a certain given k that is a constant, multiplied by omega n squared. Okay? And then if you replace it here, if you divide everywhere by omega n squared, you will be having k here at this place, because b divided by omega n squared here will give you only your k. Okay? And then k will be your static gain, because if this expression vanishes, so it will remain only this part of your equation. And then this is s of t equals k times e of t, where e is the input, right? So this is what we have in the expression. Of course, if you do an identification term by term from this expression, for example, here, between these two, if you do the identification, you will have A2, A1, and A0, okay? Because A1 will correspond to 1, A0 will correspond to omega n squared, and then A1, of course, will correspond to 2c omega n. This is what we have. And the linear temporal step, or called as a natural time constant, is equal to this expression, 2c divided by omega n. The surfacic temporal step, or the constant of the square of time, will be given by this expression here, and it is equal to 1 over omega n squared. And then the relative time constant, that is the ratio between this one and this one, will give us 1 divided by 2c omega n that we have here. Okay? And then the constant of time of the system, the time constant of our system, you just double this expression and you arrive to this result. So these are the concepts I wanted to share with you. If you want to go further and see the applications to see how I have introduced them and what is their importance for dynamical systems, second order dynamical systems, of course, I invite you to check these videos that I have presented on my YouTube channel, and you will see that there is only one and single time constant for a second order system, how it is presented in second order solutions, okay, whatever the damping ratio value, okay, can be, or range, okay. And then also, this video is the same but presented in French. Of course, all these results are resumed in my book to appear. It is coming very soon. And then the English version is in preparation. So thank you very much for your attention. For any given questions that you can have, please feel free to reach out to me at through this email, and then I will be happy to answer to all your questions that you can have. Again, thank you. I wish you Merry Christmas if you celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ. Enjoy your time. And then also I wish you a happy new year 2025, and I hope that it will bring you and to all of us good things and also good health to us to go further in our projects, our realizations, and everything that we have to do. The best to you guys and the best to all of people who are watching this video. Please share, like, and subscribe if you want to support my job. Again, thank you and bye.